Hello, I have it on this is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I'm on the Chantel Simone channel. She's red pill. Looking at her content and stay tuned, that video's coming up. She's a red pill woman. She has this particular video that she's talking about here is talking about child support. Michigan law forces dads to by default to pay child support. Wasn't aware of that. Seeing that, I said, "Oh, I should be jumping on that." I live in Michigan. I'm slipping. I wasn't aware of that. I did see a clip the other day about. I did see a clip last week. I think a man was being accused. A woman accused the man of. But I wasn't sure he was in Michigan. A woman accused the man of fathering her child, and he got stuck with paying child support. And he said he didn't even sleep with the woman. He didn't even know the woman. But I wasn't sure if that man was from Michigan. But apparently there's a law here in Michigan that forces men to pay child support by default. I've stated other times in other videos that the child support system is very flawed. It does need to be, they do need to do some serious tweaking of the child support system here all over. But I'm going to explain why they have it set up like this, why I think, and I'm pretty certain, because I was in the child support system. I didn't have to pay, but I went through that whole process with my youngest son's dad, and I'm going to explain the reasons why this probably happens. When a woman goes down, she said that when the woman puts the man on the birth certificate, far as to my knowledge, a woman cannot list the man on a birth certificate unless that man signs a piece of paper. Unless he signs a piece of paper, he's there at the time of the child's birth, and he has to sign a piece of paper stating that he is, in fact, the father. Then they put his name on the birth certificate. If the man does not sign that document, the woman can't list him on the birth certificate. He has to be there to sign that document. This I know for a fact, you know. So I don't, she said it was a case of the woman putting the man on the birth certificate, but no, a woman can't do that unless the father signs a piece of paper. But, however, when a woman goes down to DHS, we call it DHS here in Michigan, the Department of Human Services. When a woman goes down to DHS, or AKA the county, and apply for food stamps, cash assistance, Medicaid, child care costs, when a woman applies for all that, or either one of those programs, she applies for assistance. She is required. It's a requirement. You are required to list the fathers of your children, father or fathers of your children on the application. It's a requirement. You have to list the father. If you don't list the father, then I don't think they want to help you. It's a requirement. You have to list the father. Michigan wants to recoup any monies that they pay to you in assistance. They want to try to recoup those funds, that money, from said father of the child. So they go after the father for child support, instead of the protocol should be to find out if paternity has been established. If paternity has not been established for that child, the first order of business should be to require the man, to petition the man and require the man to submit a DNA test to establish the paternity of the child, then go after the child support. But, and I think it's done like that. In some cases it is done like that. I guess it depends on the situation. But when the woman lists the father on the application as the father of the child, they instantly go after that father for child support. In a lot of cases, they go after that father for child support. Whoever's name she putting on that application, that's who they go after for child support, because they're trying to recoup anything that they've paid you in assistance. They're trying to recoup those funds from the father. And then if the father, what that happens is when the father goes to court, he's supposed to request a DNA test. You know, because I know in my case with my youngest son's dad, I went down to file at the time, I didn't qualify for anything else, but I needed child care assistance, so I applied for child care assistance, and I had to list him as the father because he was the father. And they went straight to him. They went straight and filed the child support to him. They didn't order him to do a DNA test, which they probably should have. In my case, he happened to be the father, but they did go straight after him for the child support. Now there were times where he did request for DNA, but he never followed through. And the judge even told him at one point, you need to stop talking about doing the DNA and do it. You know, otherwise it's going to fall upon deaf ears. That's exactly what the judge told him. So it was on him. It was his responsibility. If he had any questions in his mind about my son being his child, which he did, he should have. It was his responsibility to get that DNA, and he never got it done because, you know, well, in my case, he happens to be the father, okay, but Michigan does do that. They go, which is not right. That ain't right, because in a case where the man is not the father, the woman puts him down on the application. She could put a name down there on the application when she's applying for assistance. And then they strictly go after that man for child support. And the first order of business should be to request a DNA, to have him to do the DNA test first. So you're making sure that you're charging the right guy. So that's something that they need to fix here in Michigan, because that's not fair to make a man pay child support for a child that's not his. And then they have to jump through all these hoops and get a lawyer and go through all these different changes. Well, only thing they should be doing is submitting a simple DNA test, you know. I mean, to the court, do the DNA test, and then submit it to the Friends of the Court. That's what they call it, Friends of the Court. Send it to the Friends of the Court, and then that he's taken off for child support. So in a case where a woman is not sure who the father is, I'm not sure. I'm not cut like that, so I'm not exactly sure why women are doing this. The only things I could come up with is that they want to get their benefits, and so they're just putting the man down, or they're embarrassed because they slept with more than one man and they not sure who the father is. So they just name a guy that they was with. They're not sure. They don't know who the father is, so they just name a guy, that one of the guys that they've been with. But some of these guys are saying that they didn't even sleep with the woman or whatever. So I don't know why these women are putting down random men for child support. I don't understand that. Like I said, I'm not cut like that, so I don't know why they're putting down random men. The only thing I could come up with, the reason why they're doing that, is they're just trying to get their case going. They're trying to get their case going, and so they just put a man's name down there. They're not sure who the father is, so they slept with multiple men. They're embarrassed, so they just put somebody's name down there just so they can get their benefits. You know, but the man, at that point, the man should go do a DNA test, submit it to the Friends of the Court. But women should not be doing this. Women should not be, just be honest. Just tell them, I don't know who the father is. I'm not sure who the father is. I was with 2 or 3. That's what that's what the woman can tell them. You know, just be forthcoming and be honest. You know, but they may not want to go through all that. They're embarrassed and they want to get the case going, so they just put a man's name down. I mean, that's a good way of getting yourself knocked off. I mean, man, these women are getting knocked off and getting killed, that's not a good idea. That's a good way to get yourself knocked off, you know, not being honest, you know, and stuff like that, because a man shouldn't have to be paying for it. That's not wrong. That's not right. That's not right for women to do that. A man shouldn't have to pay for a child that's not his. So they need to change that law here in Michigan. The first order of business should be to get a DNA test, because I know in my case, they didn't pursue the DNA first. They didn't pursue the DNA test first, which is probably what they should have done. They just went straight. They just went straight to file child support of whoever I put down, which in my case happened to be the father. But what if he wasn't the father? You know what I mean? So, yeah, Michigan needs to change that. You know, that's not fair for men to have to pay for a child that's not theirs. And they said some of these guys saying that they were married, and well, if you have, I think that's all states across the board. If you marry a woman and she has a child within that marriage, you are legally the father. Legally, if a woman has a baby by another man while you're still married to her, you are legally the father of that child. And I think that's across the board, all states, because so that the man has to go jump through some hoops to get that straightened out. Or if you was married to the woman and you adopted the children, or if you have been supporting she had children by another man, and you adopted them, or they were your stepkids, and you were helping to support those kids, they may be coming after you for child support as part of the post-marital agreement, a part of the divorce agreement, to help with the children. I don't know. I don't know all the facts. I'm just, I don't know all the facts here. Educate me in the comment section. But I do know for a fact that Michigan does have the tendency to just, whoever's name that the woman is putting on the application, they just go strictly file the child support on the man that she puts down, list as the father, and that is not okay. But Michigan, this is one of the things I hate about Michigan. Michigan allows everything. Michigan is one of those states that allow everything. They allow wage garnishments. They allow creditors, like I know after so many years, like some states have after so many years, the creditors can only come after you for so long. not Michigan. That bill could be 30 years ago, and they'll still let that creditor come after you for that money. You know, so Michigan allows everything. I mean, that's what I hate about Michigan. They allow everything in the state. They allow people to get away. These people to do. Michigan is horrible when it comes to that. You know, they don't protect their citizens very well. And as far as legally and everything, they just allow anything goes. They just allow everything. They just allow folks to just stick it to you. So that's what I hate about Michigan. But yeah, they need to fix that. That needs to be fixed. It's not okay for, because she was talking about, I don't know why y'all act like y'all care about the black community. I don't know why y'all not talking about this. Well, I said, well, I know I'm about to get on it. I said, I'm about to get on it. So I'll go on record as saying that is not okay. This is not okay to force a man to pay child support to a child that's not his. And they need to fix that. Michigan needs to fix that. Okay, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you heard about this, let me know what your thoughts are. And hit that like, subscribe, and share. Be blessed.